Crazy. Weird Monday, everyone, huh? Well, inflation is soaring. Our southern border is a mess. Afghanistan is terror central again. And Budweiser just named this as a new brand spokesman. But there's an even greater menace looming out there. It's celebrities who lost their status. I'm referring to the blue checks. And I'm not talking about someone choking on their steak in Prague. Oh. Yeah, I debated internally whether to leave that joke in or not. Really? It's terrible. It's one of the worst jokes we've ever heard. So I left it in. Last week, Twitter removed the user verification symbols known as blue checks from any account that doesn't cough up $8 to subscribe to Twitter Blue. The cash will go toward replacing Elon's rocket that exploded. It's a shame he only had 2 more payments to go. So celebs saw the blue checks go away, including Kim Kardashian, Beyonce, Tom Cruise, The Rock, and of course, Greg Gutfeld. And my personal favorite, the Pope. Yeah, try getting $8 out of that guy. He always says he left his wallet in his other cassock. But then on Saturday, Twitter re-verifies many users with massive followings, including dead people like Michael Jackson and Kobe Bryant. Of course, accounts remain active for the brain dead. So it turns out Elon Musk is offering free blue checks for several celebs who hate him, including LeBron and Stephen King. It's a cute move, like when I loaned $50 to Brian Stelter for some pants. What was he doing without pants and an Applebee's anyway? But then came the meltdown from tons of celebs who want you to know that they didn't pay the $8 to get Twitter Blue. King tweets, "My Twitter account says I've subscribed to Twitter Blue, but I haven't." Man, he was as scared as any dentist who sees his teeth. Alyssa Milano tweeted, "Just wondering if you all see a blue check mark too, or am I seeing things?" Well, Alyssa, you're definitely not seeing things, including job offers. Then there's the walking stool sample, Patton Oswalt. Remember him? Most people don't. He tweets, "Woo, did the change your name then change it back trick? And the blue check went away. Good to know." All right, buddy. Popular journalists, if that's a real thing, were whining too. Maggie Haberman of the New York Times isn't happy, who says she didn't subscribe. And when Paul Krugman complained, saying he's definitely not paying for it, Elon Musk replied with this. You know, some celebrities went the other way. Charlie Sheen actually asked Musk for his blue check back, and he got it. And then he smoked it. I'll bet Sheen can't remember ever being this happy. But the media is tied up in knots. Axios describes the blue check as a badge of dishonor. Slate calls it a scarlet letter, proving that the folks at Slate are so stupid they don't know scarlet and blue are different colors. And when did everybody get so weird? And that's coming from me. I mean, I'm weird. Woo. Good luck getting an answer from Twitter. They don't have a PR department anymore. And all press inquiries get the same automatic reply, a poop emoji. That's why I like Elon, which is really how most journalists should be treated, because they're needy D-bags full of But back in the old days, by which I mean 10 years ago, a blue check simply meant that you were who you claimed to be. All you had to do was show them ID, just like when I claim my AARP discount at Cinnabon. Then pre-Musk Twitter started taking away people's blue checks for saying things that angered libs. Conform or we won't let you be you. And that never made any sense. That changed the blue check from a very simple verification to some sort of status symbol. Once again, anything libs touch turns to crap. Now a blue check meant you were better than everybody else. And then Elon bought the place, started selling the blue checks for $8 to anyone who wanted to pay. And what did that do? Well, in the insecure heads of celebrities and media hacks, it sapped their status. They felt miserable. Their velvet rope didn't keep the little people out. So a blue check no longer projected their superiority. Celebs had a little block of pixels that they saw as a status symbol, and now they see it as the opposite, because it's just not fair to them when people are treated equally. Yes, it's silly for a billionaire to make it look like famous people are paying for his app. Also, it's silly for famous people to panic that it looks like they're paying for a billionaire's app. Can everybody just take a break and pretend they're not crazy for 5 minutes? Life is starting to feel like a pre-board for a Spirit Airlines flight. Being a liberal must be so exhausting from one moment to the next. You don't know who's your friend and who's your foe. It could change back and forth at any moment. Heck, it happened to me today.
You know, we could totally tweet as Greg, and no one would know the difference. He'll never pay that $8.
How about this one? The only reason I make fun of Kilmeade so much is because I secretly want to be him. Hashtag handsome town post.
Nice. Oh, I got one. The only thing I love more than the Red Hot Chili Peppers is The View. Hashtag best show on TV. Post.
Noise. How about this one? Geraldo had some good points last night. Post.
Get back to work. And no pee breaks.
But sir, employee 6147 forgot his pee jar.
Then hold it.
I love you, Father.
It's okay. You can use mine.
Excellent acting, by the way. And I'm not his father. But in case you're wondering, I might actually pay for the Twitter blue check myself, only because it matches my beautiful eyes. And I don't want people pretending to be me. Well, unless they're funnier. Let's welcome tonight's guests. At 3 p.m., she's the perfect complement to your day drinking. Host of The Story, Martha McCallum. Cheers! That's what Hollywood said when they told him to leave. TV writer and producer Rob Long. He's like the Fonz because he wears a leather jacket and lives over your parents' garage. Editor-at-large at Reason, Nick Gillespie. And finally, she's like the Unabomber, writing prolifically without bathing. Fox News contributor Kat Tiff. Rob, there's this phony debate going on, or should I call you Professor Rob?
Well, when you talk about a phony debate, you just call me Mr. Rob.
Yes. The people talk about, oh, this is about promotion, this is about money. This is about an emotional need. People have to admit that they're on Twitter because it serves as an emotional attachment. Everybody goes, no, I'll even say this. I do this to promote my book, or right. I do this because, you know, blah, blah, blah. People do actually need, but they can't admit it to others.
Right. I mean, I think it's important to remember that a lot of people don't do it.
Right.
That's one of the reasons why it's kind of a difficult business. A lot of people aren't on it. Some people have this thing, they exist in real life. Yeah. They have like real friends. So this is kind of a media story about media people being mad about a media story about media people. And I think it's kind of like, I want everyone to sort of take a deep breath because I had a blue check and I paid for it. But I had one and I didn't know what it did for me, except I guess it kept people's from tweeting as me, as if anybody would want to do that.
I could no longer masquerade as you and hit on male gymnasts.
Well, but that did not stop you from doing that.
I know, that is true. That is true.
So to me,
I was doing undercover work.
To me, it feels like this sort of an ordinary person. You have to explain so much about this story. First of all, I explain what Twitter is, and then what people do on it, and then why there's a blue check, and then why there isn't a blue check, and then why you pay for it. This is exactly the problem with sort of media in general, is that it's a kind of they're so far up their own.
You can say it.
Can you?
Yeah.
They're so far up their own ass. Wow. I apologize. This is a classy show. I hate to bring it down.
Yeah. It's always a shock when Burl Ives swears.
Yeah. That was a really good one.
Thank you.
You know, I wish that you spent 10% of that creativity on your monologue.
Yeah, he's right. You're right, though. It's like media on media on media, and then we do a monologue on it, Martha. Does any of this matter? Do we matter?
You know, I mean, it just sort of brings home the whole question of this likes and checks and all of, you know, how many followers you have and how ridiculous the whole thing has become, that people are freaking out that they don't have a blue check, and then dead people have a blue check and they can't tweet at all. So it's kind of, I think it is kind of bringing home how separate the group of people who actually go on it. I thought that Bette Midler was my favorite complainer, though. Overall, she said, you tweaked the algorithm and tanked my metrics. And I thought, if anybody read this, 10 years ago, they'd be like, what is she talking about? You tweaked my algorithm and tanked my metrics? And then at the bottom, which I thought was kind of funny, even though I love the Elon Musk space program, she said, sorry about your rocket.
At least he puts a rocket into space.
Exactly.
Midler. What have you put into space besides Twinkies?
See, again,
Yeah.
just a little bit more effort away from me and my appearance.
I don't know. That seems to be the gold mine.
I guess
tonight.
you're right.
Everything else is
Nick,
up a
it
little
seems
short.
like if a lot of people are getting their blue checks, we should start just tweeting as famous people.
I've been trying. I've been impersonating myself for the past 5 minutes. It doesn't matter. I liked having the blue check, before you have to pay for it, which I may do, but because a couple of people I work with didn't have it. And I would always be like, it really doesn't matter that I have this blue check that you don't have. Really. You can bring it up in almost any context.
Yes.
And because they're journalists, they get mad.
Yeah.
They're
You have to
so
just-
easy to.
Yeah, you just bring it up even without even any prompting. Remember that time at the funeral when you brought it up?
No, it was, I thought it was appropriate.
Yes, it was. It was.
People were crying anyway.
That's part of my philosophy. Always give bad news to people who are suffering.
That would be great.
Yeah, right. You give them because it's like it can't get any worse. Well, while you're here, you're fired. Kat, isn't this really about the human weakness, the human desire for status that we're always trying to look for it, and it undermines everything and underpins everything, I think.
Yeah, especially because we're all going to die.
Oh, good point.
Well, that's what I always think about
are.
most of the time, yeah.
This guy's not.
Oh, well, best
I'm
of
getting
luck.
better looking as I get older.
Okay, I am
you
too,
start
but
from
I'm
a
still
bad
going to
baseline.
die.
Yeah, no.
You have your blue check, buddy.
Do I?
Yes.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do. Everybody with more than 1 million followers has the blue check.
Oh, really?
Have the blue
I have
check.
2.7 million.
Yeah.
Does that mean I should get
But
2
who's
point?
counting?
I
Should I get-
also knew you were going to bring that up. So you're like, some people care about status so much.
Yeah.
But I have 2.7 million followers, and I don't have 1 million followers, so I don't have the blue check. But I don't want to pay for it because although I am concerned about maybe the limited reach of my fiery hot takes, I don't want people to know that.
Right. I want to make a correction that I actually have 2.4, not 2.7 million.
Oh,
You lost it.
It's funny because I was going to talk about how weak it is that people are so attached to things that give them status, but in your face.
Yeah. I was like,
Your
what is he
face.
talking about?
In your face.
Yeah.
No,
well,
that's
you
it.
made that clear.
Yes. Look at that. See that right
I
there?
can see it,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's a little blue check, huh? Yeah. It's like the opposite of a malignant mole.
it's a beauty mark.
Wow, you should work in marketing.
I should work in marketing.
It's really pathetic. I mean, it's so pathetic.
I know.
Think about what we're talking about. It's like, do you have a blue? I mean, the only people I was ever happy that I impressed with my blue check were my kids.
Yeah.
Like, ooh, she has a blue check.
Martha, you look like a doctor from the future.
Really? Maybe
Yeah.
I am a doctor from the
Right?
future. Here to diagnose what's wrong
does
with
she look
you.
like the
You
doc?
cure this show?
I don't know. Right.
the
Gotta move
doctor
up.
from.
Ooh, fun.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.